In the realm of Greek mythology, tales of heroism, valor, and tragic destinies abound. Among these stories, one name often stands out, inciting debates and discussions across generations and cultures. This name is none other than Achilles, the legendary hero of the Trojan War, a character as complex as he is iconic. Today, we will delve deep into his saga, dissecting his triumphs and failures, his strengths and vulnerabilities as we attempt to answer the question, was Achilles the greatest hero in Greek mythology? The story of Achilles begins before his birth, deeply interwoven with the whims and feuds of the gods themselves. His mother was Thetis, a Nereid, or sea-nymph, who held a unique position among the pantheon of Greek mythology due to a prophecy stating that she would bear a son greater than his father. This caused concern among the gods, including Zeus himself. However, it was decided to marry her off to a mortal, Peleus, in an effort to circumvent the prophecy. The union of Thetis and Peleus was no ordinary event. It was a grand affair, graced by all the gods and goddesses, except one, Eris, the goddess of discord, who was not invited. She, in her characteristic style, gatecrashed the wedding, causing havoc by throwing a golden apple inscribed with, "To the fairest." This incited a dispute among the goddesses, and eventually led to the Trojan War, where Achilles' destiny was to be played out. Achilles' upbringing was equally as extraordinary as his birth. His mother, eager to make her son invincible, bathed him in the river Styx. She held him by the heel, which remained untouched by the mystical waters of the Styx, marking his first and only vulnerability. Meanwhile, his education was undertaken by the wise centaur Chiron, who instilled in him the values of courage, honor, and the skills of a formidable warrior. As Achilles grew, he evolved into an unmatched warrior, a handsome prince, and a respected leader. However, a prophecy hung over his head, one that promised a short but glorious life for him, a life that would end on the battlefields of Troy. Thetis, in her effort to protect her son, concealed him at the court of King Lycomedes, where he lived, disguised as a girl. But destiny had other plans for the young hero. When the time came for the Greeks to sail for Troy, the king, Agamemnon, was informed by the seer Calchas that the city could not be conquered without Achilles. Hence, Odysseus, known for his wit and cunning, was sent to fetch Achilles. Despite Thetis' efforts, Achilles could not resist the call to glory and thus set sail for Troy, marking the beginning of his legendary exploits in the Trojan War. On the battlefield, Achilles' prowess was unparalleled. He led the Myrmidons, his loyal band of warriors, with his remarkable skills and strategy. His name became synonymous with death for his enemies, as he cut down Trojan warriors with his godlike strength and speed. His wrath was both inspiring and terrifying, an embodiment of the brutal reality of war. However, Achilles' journey was not without its share of personal anguish and conflict. His feud with Agamemnon over the captive princess Briseis led him to withdraw from the war, showcasing his pride and stubbornness. This decision had significant consequences, leading to the death of his closest friend, Patroclus. Enraged and heartbroken, Achilles returned to the battlefield with a newfound fury. He challenged Hector, the Trojan prince and killer of Patroclus, to a duel. Their fight was legendary, ending with Achilles slaying Hector and tying his lifeless body to his chariot, dragging it around the walls of Troy. This was a low point for our hero, displaying a cruelty and ruthlessness in his quest for revenge. In his wrath, Achilles was not completely devoid of compassion. When Priam, the king of Troy and father of Hector, came unarmed to the Greek camp to plead for his son's body, Achilles was moved by the old king's bravery and grief. He returned Hector's body, showing a moment of humanity amidst the brutality of war. However, even the greatest of heroes have their downfall. Achilles, the invincible warrior, was felled by an arrow to his heel, his only vulnerable spot. The arrow was guided by Apollo, the god who had sided with the Trojans, and was shot by Paris, Hector's brother, the man whose actions had sparked the war in the first place. In death, Achilles left behind a legacy that has endured centuries. His name is synonymous with both immense strength and profound vulnerability, immortalized in the term Achilles' heel. His story is a powerful exploration of the human condition, of our capacity for both great kindness and terrible wrath. It reminds us that even the greatest among us are not immune to the tragedies of life, and that glory often comes at a great price. Achilles' tale is a vivid reminder that heroes, despite their superhuman feats, are at their core human. They love, they lose, they grieve, they err. And in the end, they leave behind stories that inspire us, make us ponder our own lives and our own humanity. So, remember Achilles not just for his battlefield glories, but also for his human moments, for it's in these moments that he truly comes alive as a character. In conclusion, whether Achilles is the greatest hero of Greek mythology or not is subjective and depends on one's perspective. His tale is one of bravery and tragedy, of love and wrath, of glory and doom. He was a man of contradictions, just as we all are. And perhaps that's what makes his story so enduring, so timeless, so human. Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War, the invincible warrior with a vulnerable heel, continues to captivate our imaginations, inviting us to explore the depths of our own strengths and vulnerabilities.